And I was like, I got it, because I didn't know who it was from, it just said. All right, we'll get started. We'll call this meeting to order and stand for the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Happy birthday. Like, yeah. All right, thanks everybody for being here bright and early this morning. We'll go ahead and get started with the consent agenda and the approval of the order of business. I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda and the order of business.
May I run this live?
We are.
It is
And
live.
it's gonna go on this too, on the Facebook page. Is that okay?
As long as you announce that you're doing that.
Yes,
you
I'd like
can.
to announce that I'd like to run it live, please.
Okay, you got
Thank
it.
you.
Yep. All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Visitors and patrons. Communication and petitions. Public comment period for non-agenda items and non-personnel related items. New business recommendation to approve certified contract negotiations for the fiscal year 25. We have a recommendation to approve steps and lanes as applicable on current salary schedule, as well as a recommendation to approve revised CBA language. Talk about that.
Sandra, did you want to do the highlights, or I can as well? They're all of the changes are highlighted in yellow.
Yeah, I did change page numbers there that I didn't highlight in yellow, but they just were applicable. We did change the time for Friday's working day from 8:30 to 2.
Here, I can do it
I'm sorry, I got
That's okay.
messages. That's what we're talking about.
right there. Yeah.
Yep, so the working day will be from 8:30 to 2 next year for Teacher Fridays. Go ahead, keep going.
What was the 24-24 up there? Can you go back up just a little bit?
I just highlight when we change the year. Is that what
No,
you're?
go up one more. There.
Oh, I gotta change that. Typo to 25. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Yeah.
Good catch.
Yep.
In proofread.
10 out of 10 people in this room was like, no, there's nothing. Not like.
We clarified language for teachers who serve as coaches that they will be paid if they're driving a bus because they have a CDL. So that pay reflects their additional training. There was some awkward wording in there that made it in last year, my fault. So we just clarified that wording. We made the payment for moving classrooms, not something that's reviewed every year, but that is permanent language in the CBA, so that's why that's struck through. This section on liquidated damages is new, so that is section that the district wanted to add, which would penalize teachers for breaking contracts, and it's a graduated scale based on the time of year when they would sign and then break their contract, with the most costly penalty being during the school year or after the school year started. There is a clause for extenuating circumstances.
Does that matter if they're tenured or not?
Does not.
It's the same for all.
Mhm.
What about classified employees?
We don't have any, so, I mean, I don't personally have.
Oh,
say
it's,
whether-
I'm not,
Yeah.
yeah, that's outside of this. Okay.
I mean, obviously, we prefer a 2-week notice, but it's not something that would penalize me by their hourly.
Yeah.
Okay, so MFPE is always held every year in October. We've always allowed a substitution in the summer, but sometimes we've also been, this is kind of to make practice line up with the language, allowing classes or other things. So the point of changing this language was just to make it clear that it's 14 renewal units that a teacher has to get outside of contracted time to replace going to the MFPE conference in October. And that it requires approval from the superintendent or designee. This was already what the district was doing. Sometimes teachers, for some reason, might have like a half a year of service for their retirement, so we just added that little clause to make sure it was fair and clear for retirees and teachers. This was language change recommended from MFPE that when we go through the grievance process, the association should be at level 4, the ones who decide whether or not to move forward, not the grievant. So it's the group, the association, who makes that decision. And then in the evaluation section here, we added some clarification just to ensure that there's consistency across the schools and that teachers have at least an hour of time per evaluation period being observed from their supervisors, and put a couple clarifications for timeline in there. We want to make sure teachers get feedback if they're evaluated twice before, you know, around the end of the trimester, or, you know, earlier in the year by December 1st.
And Sandra, 2 points of clarification on that. When I was rereading through this, that they'll spend 2 full class periods, that's split between the 2. So we're still sticking with 1 hour per
Correct.
evaluation.
Yeah.
And then there was the comment by admin that, you know, if you have someone that goes on maternity leave or isn't here, you know, for an extended period in the fall, that deadline can be extended, but there would be a conversation. So I think that's on the next page.
We forgot an A, so we added. You think you read it like so many times and you still find things that are like, how is that in there? That was redundant. That was already listed up above, so we struck that.
Personnel is really. Sorry,
That is.
no, there was another one further up there. A little further. Yeah, it is, sorry.
You good?
Yeah.
Okay.
Catching mistakes.
He was scrolling the E read like an A as it went by. Complete it.
That was about it.
And then we'll talk
Oh,
maybe about
yeah,
the, no, keep going down.
Happens.
Yeah, and the matrix we added, yeah, so the stipends, we did. Increase the head cheerleading and assistant cheerleading stipend. To reflect the number of our participants and the practices and the travel and everything they do, they were pretty low on that schedule. Then we also changed one thing, which is we made just a mentor teacher into 2 tiers to reflect the difference between mentoring like a first-year teacher, second year teacher versus somebody who might have a couple years of experience, which would be less pay because they aren't needing quite the support. And then we also we changed the clubs. So we have just a general club stipend. And see those strike throughs there,
Board approved club should,
board approved club should be highlighted.
you can do.
And also BPA should be, I changed that on the live draft. I have BPA advisor as part of the clubs too. So BPA, drama club, book club, science club. And like if another club like weightlifting or Mr. Schilf's Skills USA came and asked to be approved from the board, then we could give them that stipend without having to go through negotiations or doing an MOU or something like that.
What is BPA?
Business Professionals of
Of America.
America.
A lot of the power administration, as far as I know, but.
We had it running when JD Mulkey was here.
Sorry.
And
Oh, you're good.
when that position changed, we kind of said, well, maybe we can use that stipend for Skills USA or TSA when Rebecca Brown was here, but it was never clear whether we could actually use it. So it's a lot nicer that it fits under the umbrella of club.
And then we added, if you scrolled it, I think one more. Yeah, okay, we added a step to those 3 lanes. We have some teachers that without a salary increase, negotiated salary increase, they wouldn't have any increase in pay. So adding a step to those lanes would be a way of making sure. I think there was 4 teachers, right? That this was a 4 or 5, that was like a quick perusal that we saw this would affect, and that would be a way of making sure that they at least see a small increase for next year. And we also changed the number of years a teacher can bring with them. It used to be 10, we changed it to 15 to help hopefully with recruiting and make our district more attractive as we're trying to fill positions.
So that will apply to new hires as well.
This is for the next school year, so I would think that people that you hired going into next year
Right,
are
So
under
people that
this.
we hired currently on the board agenda,
we would not go retroactive. No, people that are starting for this fall, yes,
Yeah,
but
okay.
not
Correct,
going
that's-
back to somebody that was
No,
hired a
correct.
year ago and saying we're changing that.
correct,
Yeah.
correct.
Well, for new hires, we're taking how many years of, did we change that?
We changed it. Oh, they changed
It's
it.
changed to 15
That's
for
right.
this
Okay.
upcoming school year.
Okay, so that would affect possibly.
So do we need to change right where your cursor was? They will enter the salary schedule at the 10-year level?
15-year level, thank you.
Where are we at?
There's a word.
Just further down where 10 is written out.
Oh,
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just
Yep.
wasn't changed.
I'll change that.
Any other questions?
I just want to add, I feel like I thought the union was, I thought it was a good meeting. I wish that we were able to have gone an increase for the staff, but, we did the things that we thought we could do, which would be, to cut down that Friday a little bit. We talked about giving them, giving staff a free lunch. That was part of it as well. Just the levy of pass has been a different ballgame, so.
I sat in on the negotiations last year, and I wish I kind of would have done it this year because
You hear a lot.
get more out of it,
Right.
yeah. So.
And And Sandra, how was everybody with the child?
We had 6 no votes and 17 for votes, and I think 2 unreturned ballots. So it was higher no vote than normal, but understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the certified contract negotiations for fiscal year 25, including the steps and lanes and current schedule and approved revised CBA language as with the changes we discussed were noted.
For any more discussion? All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Recommendation to hire Shayla Semple as head girls basketball coach.
I'll make a motion to hire Shayla Stumble as head basketball coach. I'll second that.
Okay. Is there any more discussion? All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. And we have a motion for adjournment, please.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thanks for being here, everybody.
I think this is the first time when I said it's